Hello, listeners. This is the continuing video of Mahabharat audio series. This video will be regarding chapter number 65. It's about the second day of the battle. The Pandav army, having fared badly on the first day of the battle, Drishtadyumna, the generalissimo, devised measures to avoid a repetition of it. On the second day, the army was most carefully arrayed and everything was done to instill confidence. Duryodhan, filled with conceit on account of the success on the first day, stood in the center of his army and addressed his warriors. "Heroes in armor," he said in a loud voice, "our victory is assured. Fight and care not for life." The Kaurav army, led by Bhishma, again made strong attack on the Pandav force and broke their formation, killing large numbers. Arjun, turning to Krishna, his charioteer, said, "If we continue in this way, our army will soon be totally destroyed by the Grand Desire. Unless we slay Bhishma, I am afraid we cannot save our army." "Dhananjay, then get ready. There is the Grand Desire's chariot," replied Krishna, and drove straight towards him. The chariot sped forward at a great pace. The Grand Desire sent his shafts welcoming the challenge. Duryodhan had ordered his men to protect the Grand Desire most vigilantly and never to let him expose himself to danger. Accordingly, all the warriors supporting the Grand Desire at once intervened and attacked Arjun, who, however, fought on unconcerned. It was well known that there were but three on the Kauravas side who could stand against Arjun with any chance of success: the Grand Desire Bhishma, Drona, and Karna. Arjun made short work of the warriors who intervened in support of Bhishma. The way in which he wielded his great bow on this occasion extorted the admiration of all the great generals in the army. His chariot flashed hither and thither, sundering hostile ranks like forked lightning so rapidly that the eye ached to follow his career. Duryodhan's heart beat fast as he watched this combat. His confidence in the great Bhishma began to be shaken. "Son of Ganga," Duryodhan said, "it seems as if even while you and Drona are alive and fighting, this irresistible combination of Arjun and Krishna will destroy our entire army. Karna, whose devotion and loyalty to me are most genuine, stands aside and does not fight for me only because of you. I fear I shall be deceived and you will not take steps quickly to destroy Falgun." Here, Falgun means the combination of Arjun and Krishna. The gods came down to watch the combat between Bhishma and Arjun. These were two of the greatest warriors on earth. Both chariots were drawn by white steeds. From either side flew arrows in countless numbers. Shaft met shaft in the air, and sometimes the Grand Desire's missile hit Arjun's breast and that of Madhav. And the blood flowing made Madhav more beautiful than ever, as he stood like a green palace tree in full bloom with crimson flowers. Arjun's wrath rose when he saw his dear charioteer hit, and he pulled his bow and sent well-aimed arrows at the Grand Desire. The combatants were equal, and the battle raged for a long while. In the movements the chariots made, they were so close to one another and moved about so fast that it was not possible to say where Arjun was and where Bhishma. Only the flag could be distinguished. As this great and wonderful scene was enacted in one part of the field, at another place a fierce battle was being fought between Drona and his born enemy Drishtadyumna, the son of the king of the Panchals and brother of Draupadi. Drona's attack was powerful and Drishtadyumna was wounded badly. But the latter retaliated with equal vigor, and with a grin of hatred he shot arrows and sped other missiles at Drona. Drona defended himself with great skill. He parried the sharp missiles and the heavy maces hurled at him with his arrows and broke them to pieces even as they sped in the air. Many times did Drishtadyumna's bow break, hit by Drona's arrows. One of the Drona's arrows killed the Panchal prince's charioteer. Thereupon Drishtadyumna took up a mace and, jumping down from the chariot, went forward on foot. Drona sent an arrow which brought the mace down. Drishtadyumna then drew his sword and rushed forward like a lion springing to its elephant prey. But Drona again disabled him and prevented his advance. Just then, Bhim, who saw the Panchal's predicament, sent a shower of arrows on Drona and carried Drishtadyumna to safety in his chariot. Duryodhan, who saw this, sent the Kalinga forces against Bhimsena. Bhim killed the Kalinga warriors in great number. Like death itself, he moved about among his enemies and felled them to the ground. So fierce was the destruction that the entire army trembled in fear. When Bhishma saw this, he came to relieve the Kalingas. Satyaki, Abhimanyu, and other warriors came up in support of Bhim. One of Satyaki's shafts brought Bhishma's charioteer down, and the horses of Bhishma's chariot, left uncontrolled, bolted carrying Bhishma away from the field. The Pandav army was wild and enthusiasm when Bhishma's chariot sped thus out of the field. They took advantage of the situation and made a fierce attack on the Kaurav army. Great was the loss the Kaurav army suffered in that day's battle as a result of Arjun's deed of valor. The generals of the Kaurav army were greatly perturbed and their previous day's enthusiasm had all disappeared. They eagerly looked forward to sunset when there would be an end of the day's battle. As the sun sank in the west, Bhishma said to Drona, "It is well to stop the fighting now. Our army is disheartened and weary." On the side of the Pandavas, Dhananjay and others returned in great cheer to their camp, with bands playing. At the end of the second day's battle, the Kauravas were in the mood that the Pandavas were in the previous evening. Chapter 65 finishes here. Keep listening Mahabharat audio series in the next videos.